Hello YouTube fans, Matt Durant here, and welcome to a deck profile for Clownblade, or Performage if you prefer. So yeah, I'll go straight into the deck profile. Sorry, it's a bit late than I said it was going to be, but yes, things happen. So yeah, starting with Trick Clown, one of the main cards of the deck, to combo with Thousand Blades. Trick Clown, when it's sent to the graveyard, can target a Performage in the graveyard, special summon it, change its attack and defense to 0, then you take 1000 damage. You do not take this damage when one day of peace is on the field is in effect, because neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. So that's just made one day of peace amazing card in this. So yeah, Trick Clown, right there. One of the most hated cards in this deck for most people who hate Clownblade. It's very well comboed with Thousand Blades. When it's in the graveyard and you take damage, you can special summon it in attack mode. You can only use that effect once per turn of Thousand Blades, so you can't have multiple Thousand Blades and special summon all of them. So that's good. You don't use the first primary effect usually, unless you're running Assault Halberd in the deck. Then you may do that, but not in this one. So yeah, you want to get Thousand Blades in your graveyard as soon as possible, and the usual way to do that is Levavar Chain. If you overlay Trick Clown and something else for Levavar Chain, you can send Trick Clown to the graveyard, send Thousand Blades to the graveyard, then Trick Clown will activate, special summon itself, and then Thousand Blades will activate and special summon itself, going into an instant rank 4 off Levavar Chain. So yeah, that's very, very powerful. Next one is Damage Juggler, recently added into the deck. During either player's turn, when a card or effect that would inflict damage is activated, you can discard that card to negate the activation if you do destroy it. So that helps against burn decks, but not going to be very applicable here. During either player's battle phase, you can discard this card and reduce the next battle damage that you would take to 0. So that is possible as a good card. It's a little bit of a Karibo there. But the main effect we use this for is you can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Performage monster from your deck to your hand. So that is what we want to do, and add something like Flame Eater, Hat Tricker mainly, or Trick Clown, depending on the situation. Next we have 2 Gigabytes, 2 Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness, and 1 Inari Flame. These are the familiars from the Charmer archetype. Gigabytes is, well, the bit like the UFO Turtle or Mystic Tomato of the familiar set, because when it's destroyed by battle or card effect and sends to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 1500 attack and 200 defense monster from your deck. So it can target any of these. Well, it can't target itself, but it can target any of these two. And when we get the support for the dark, light, and wind, we have those chance. You can also summon out, just out of interest, you can actually special summon out Violent Omen. Unlikely you'd want to do that in your deck, but depending if you're using Violent Omen in the deck. But yes, the main effect though is that if you control Spellcaster, you can special summon this from your hand. You can only control one of each of them on the field, so it goes into instant Exceed with these monsters. Nefarious Archfiend Eater is great comboed with Trick Box, as it can destroy your opponent's monsters that you gain control. More of that in a minute. And Inari Flame, which can combo very well with Destruct Potion to gain your life points, and then special summon itself back out from the graveyard next turn. So that's very well. So that's why I'm using those ones in the deck. Then Thousand Blades, as you know. Then 1 Flame Eater. Unlikely I want to use Flame Eater. It's also a bit of a Gaga cowboy in the set. I won in the last duels. I won with Flame Eater, just inflicting random 500 damage when I forgot that it could. But when you take when you take card effect damage, you can special summon it from your hand. But for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon Performage monsters, so I have to use Trapeze Magician in the deck. But I don't actually like it that much because it negates other effect damage, so it stops Thousand Blade combo. But yeah, that's why this is in here. But it vanishes when it's sent from the field to the grave. When it's sent from the field, because it special summon itself. It has that limitation. Next is Hat Tricker, another amazing card in this deck. When there are 2 or more monsters on the field, you can special summon this from their hand. That is regardless if it's your opponent or you. So if you had your Trick Clown and Clownblade, you can special summon as many of your Hat Trickers as you like, which I did in my last duels. So it's just amazing, that card. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that will inflict damage to you, you can place 1 Performage counter onto this and reduce that damage to 0. So then Trick Clown's cost becomes 0. It will stop there. 1000 Blades, but it may keep your life points safe. If you have 3 counters on this card, its attack and defense become 3300, which is amazing, but I have not done that yet. But you can do it. And then summon a monk. Since it's a level 4 that I can instantly special summon out other level 4s, it's perfect in this deck. Then we'll go on to the spells. Instant Fusion, I'm using 3 of these because you want your Instant Fusion, you want to get into Nodin, although I only have 2 Nodins. It's unlikely I'm going to go into 3 Instant Fusions in 1 duel. So just 2 Nodins, and extra deck space is actually a bit tight. So yeah, Instant Fusion, amazing, and probably be banned later on, or Nodin. One or the other. Then Rejeki, as it's Rejeki, 1 day apiece, because if you don't have to take damage your turns. If you're using Trick Clown or Flame Eater, you can gain this. Well, Flame Eater only for the 500 damage, but highly likely. But this does help, and it stopped an OTK last set of duels when he is attacked by Trick Clown with 0 defense with a Cyber Red Dragon of 8000 attack. It just saved me. It was the most luckiest thing I ever did on that. Okay, next into 2 Dark Holes, because destruction of my monster Trick Clown is not going to hurt. Destruction of Archfiend Eater is not going to hurt. Destruction of Damage Juggler is not going to hurt. And destruction of Gigabyte is not going to hurt either, just making sure. And destruction of Inherently, they're not going to hurt, so might as well play double Dark Hole. Then we got Soul Charge to resurrect everything. Foolish Burial to send our 1000 Blades or our Trick Clown instantly into the graveyard. Pot of Duality, because we don't really have to special summon on our turn. We can leave this till next turn and defend with Trick Box. So Pot of Duality can be used in this deck. If you don't like it, use something like Upstart Goblin, in case someone doesn't know what Upstart Goblin is, that one. Or maybe even Appropriate, because there's so much drawing nowadays. You can chain this onto something like Upstart Goblin and gain a draw. So yeah, next is Book of Moon, because you need your Jin lockouts. Nowadays, Jin lock is dangerous as anything. So yeah, main your Jin lockouts, mate. Then triple Destruct Potion, because as I said, our monsters don't really care if they're destroyed. They'll just come back even worse. And we need life points in this deck, because Trick Clown will eventually eat away until you have nothing. Bottomless Trap Hole, as is Bottomless Trap Hole. Compulse, Vanity, and Solemn are staples. Well, Compulse not so much, but Bottomless would be the replacement. And then Trick Box. If a Performage monster you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase, then switch summon your Performage from your graveyard to the opponent's side of the field, and then the controls are switched back. So perfect combo with Nefarious Archfiend Eater, as it special summons itself before the Trick Box loses its effect, so you can destroy the monster you special summoned and then gain your Performage back for an instant exceed next turn. So yeah, that's amazing. I would also recommend for people Secret Village in your side deck, at least for Necros plays, because a lot of these are spellcasters, and you can easily go into Trapeze Magician, which is a spellcaster. So Secret Village could definitely lock out your opponent and would be a nice card to put in your side deck. Okay, onto the Exceeds. We have 1 Gagaka Cowboy, as it's Gagaka Cowboy, everyone knows what he does. Degusta Emerald to return cards from our graveyard to our deck to draw 1 card. Lavalval Chain, as it's a staple in this deck to perform the Clownblade combo. Then Exciton, because it's Exciton. Castell, because it's the best rank 4. Heartland Draco, It's mainly just to attack directly in case I do have game and they have 2,000 or less life points. And there's no protection in this deck, unfortunately, for it, so that's not good, but it's mainly just to attack directly. Number 1 on one side on Arc, as is pre-Castell, to be honest. King of the Fair Olymps to add Gigabyte to our hand. Ragnar's Zero to destroy your opponent's monsters. There are a lot of monsters that make their attack higher, and definitely against Fire Fist and Centaurus or something like that. He increases attack points, so Ragnar Zero, always good. And then 2 Trapeze Magicians, because if you use Flame Meter, you have to summon that Trapeze Magician as the only Performage Exceed monster. I'll go into this one. You take no battle damage. You take no damage that's lower than this card's attack. So it does stop the Clownblade combo, which protects you as well. It makes you not lose any life points that are lower than 2,500, and protects against Flame Meter hurting you, but only hurting your opponents. Then its other effects are once per turn during either player's main phase 1, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, target 1 other face up attack position monster on the field. It can make a second attack during each battle phase's turn, or destroy it during the end of the battle phase. This doesn't have to be just your monster. If you know your opponent's monster won't be able to get over your monsters, you can power up theirs and destroy it that way. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, so say Cyber Dragon Infinity negates this effect and destroys it, and it's sent to the graveyard, so you can't do it with Macrocosmos there. Or if this card is destroyed by opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon 1 Performage from your deck, so instantly going to Trick Clown. So that is amazing, but I hate its no damage effect, unfortunately, because it stops the combat. Then Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, because that's your massive beater in the deck, and Stellar Knight Delta Ross, because you can go into a free material rank 4s, and Delta Ross is one of the best ones for that. And then we got Nonan, because it's Nonan instant fusion target. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. It's a bit short probably, just check. No, it's not that short actually. So if you have any suggestions for the deck, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be doing some more duels with these then. I'll be also uploading some Aramage duels today, so look out for them, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Matt Durant, signing out.